What if I told you there was a single behavior? One behavior, not intelligence, not talent, not who you know or where you grew up. One behavior that research consistently shows predicts income, health, relationship quality, and life satisfaction better than IQ. In 1972, a psychologist named Walter Mischel sat 4-year-old children in a room, alone, with a single marshmallow on a plate in front of them. What happened next became one of the most studied experiments in the history of psychology. And what it revealed about adult financial behavior is something most people will spend their entire lives never understanding. Stanford University, 1972. Walter Mischel brings a child into a quiet room, places a single marshmallow on a plate in front of them. Then he gives the child a choice. You can eat this marshmallow right now. Or, if you wait 15 minutes until I come back and you get 2 marshmallows. Then he leaves the room. Some children eat it immediately, some last a few minutes before giving in. Some cover their eyes, sing to themselves, turn their chair away from the plate, and wait the full 15 minutes. Mischel followed these children for decades. What he found was not subtle. The children who waited and the ones who delayed gratification for the larger reward went on to score significantly higher on academic tests. They had better health outcomes in their 30s and 40s, lower rates of substance abuse, stronger relationships, and most relevant to this channel, substantially higher incomes. One marshmallow, 15 minutes, predicted 40 years of outcomes. But here's where most people who know this story stop. They hear it as proof that some people are born with self-control and others aren't. That's not what Mischel found. And understanding the difference is everything. Later research on the marshmallow test revealed something the original study missed. The children who waited, they weren't simply more disciplined. They had developed specific strategies for managing their own attention. They looked away from the marshmallow. They sang songs. They imagined it was a picture of a marshmallow, not a real one. They created psychological distance between themselves and the temptation. The children who ate it immediately, they stared directly at it. They thought about how good it would taste. They kept their full attention locked on the reward in front of them. The difference wasn't willpower, it was strategy. Mischel spent the rest of his career proving that delayed gratification is not a fixed trait you either have or don't have. It is a learnable cognitive skill, a set of mental techniques that can be taught, practiced, and developed at any age. Which means the story isn't some people are wired for success. The story is most people were never taught the strategies that make waiting feel possible. And in a world engineered to make you consume immediately, that gap is costing you everything. Here's what nobody tells you alongside the marshmallow story. The environment those children sat in was neutral. A quiet room, one marshmallow. No distractions. Your environment is not neutral. Every app on your phone was designed by teams of behavioral psychologists whose entire job is to make you consume the marshmallow right now. Before you think about it, before you consider the cost. Buy now. One-click checkout. Limited time offer, only 3 left. Your friends are watching this. Every one of those phrases is a marshmallow placed directly in front of your face, engineered to prevent you from looking away. The financial system is built on your inability to wait. Credit cards profit from it. Subscription models exploit it. Advertising exists entirely because of it. The 4-year-old who ate the marshmallow was acting on instinct in a neutral room. You are acting on instinct in a room designed by billion-dollar companies to make waiting feel impossible. The playing field is not level. But the skill that levels it is trainable. Mischel's later research identified the exact cognitive strategies the waiting children used. 3 of them are directly applicable to financial behavior. The first, create distance between yourself and the temptation. The children who covered their eyes or turned their chair away waited longer than those who stared at the marshmallow. In financial terms, remove one-click buying. Add friction to spending. Make the impulse purchase require 3 steps instead of 1. Friction is strategy. The second, make the future reward concrete. The children who imagined the 2 marshmallows vividly, what they looked like, how they would taste, waited significantly longer than those with no mental image of the reward. Vague goals lose to immediate pleasure every time. specific, vivid future rewards compete. The third, change what you tell yourself about yourself. Children who were told you are a patient person before the experiment waited longer than those given no framing at all. Identity precedes behavior. Before the strategy comes the story you tell yourself about who you are. A 4-year-old in 1972 sat alone with a marshmallow. And what they chose in that 15 minutes quietly shaped the next 40 years of their life. You are sitting with a marshmallow right now. It might be the comfortable job when the business is calling. It might be the spend when the investment is the smarter move. It might be the scroll when the work is sitting unfinished. The marshmallow is always there. The question is never whether it looks good. The question is, do you have a strategy for looking away? Subscribe this channel. In the next video, we'll discuss something you have never heard before.